All right, welcome to another episode of Getting Real in the Field. And this is the show where we talk about all the things that you hate to do, which is following up, making phone calls, dyeing your beard, talking to people, and last but not least, but you know, top 10 tips on how to do all the things to get your house ready to list. And I'm your host, JP Fluellen, and this is Day.
Okay. For all the audience out there, please do me a favor. Just hit a like for JP's beard.
Yes.
Okay.
If nothing
Hit
else,
a like for JP's beard.
we don't deliver any value tonight. At least give us a like because this takes work. This takes.
Oh man. Okay. There you go. So what do you want to talk about tonight?
Well, I think we need to talk about open houses because everybody's getting back to grassroots right now.
Yeah.
Really trying to double down on what is it going to take to weather the storm of this crazy market where there's low inventory and low buyers, which is just so weird. That's just anti-logical, you know. But we can thank our friends at the US government for the wonderful position that we're in where logic and reasoning make no sense. And that's just a weird place to be. But the way we can combat this is educate ourselves, watch videos just like this, and get back to the basics, which is making phone calls like we talked about in the beginning, following up, the fortunes in the follow-up, answering your friggin' phones because we just know how much agents love to answer their phones or their text messages. And last but not least, but getting back to the age-old, practice of doing open houses.
Yes, I agree. Okay, so then why don't we do a top 10 list on how it help you make the most of the open house event?
All right,
get started.
Let's do it.
Okay, what's number 10?
Number 10. Okay, should we do it like Jay Leno style? Should we start at the bottom and then work our way up to the top?
Yes, of course. Okay.
All right. So number 10 is, number 10 is clean and declutter and ensure that the property is spotless and free of personal belongings, because we all love those tchotchke items, in that curio cabinet that we got from grandma, actually great grandma, that, we just love to, that thing is god awful, but we gotta, get all that stuff out of there. Nobody wants to see your precious moments, dolls from, 25 years ago, or your Beanie Babies. Like, just put those suckers in a box. Tell your client, like, sir, as much as I love your house, like, this stuff's got to go. Actually, it needs to go in the trash. And, and honestly, they're going to appreciate you for being such an honest real estate agent that they might just do that, like, right in front of you, like right there.
I mean, and I'll add on to it. It sounds so basic, but less is more, right? And sometimes I see a lot of agents with, who are rookies still, where they let the clients get away with a lot of clutter with boxes still everywhere and it's still busy. You've got to convince your clients to be able to declutter and really remove everything down to bare bones. And it will look like a changed house, an empty house to them, but it will definitely make an impact on prospects, right?
It will, 100%. 100%.
Okay, so number 9, I would say curb appeal. First impression matters. So I like to always kind of look at, the exterior with landscaping. You don't have to make everything look 100% green or anything like that, but clean it up. No leaves, no twigs, no weeds as much as possible, right? And just making the entrance welcome when you drive past it. Again, super simple, but that's a mistake that I've seen often in many of home listings.
Yeah. There's companies out there that spray lawns.
Yes. California.
Yes. or fake grass. I've seen that too. And
Yep.
fake grass and the what is it? The golf grass. Or
Yep.
so
Yep.
all right, number 7. So consider hiring a professional stager or just hire a seasoned agent that's going to sell your house because they've seen it all. They've, and HGTV obviously is not realistic, but you probably have stuff in your house that you can use as stagey stuff. I mean, we've all been to Hobby Lobby or Michael's or any of these companies like that.
Yeah.
And, go ahead, go take $100 and go buy some of this stuff. It's a lot cheaper than, spending, $900 for staging for a 2.5 month, of staging. And then, it's per day after that.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
you can go to, Big Lots or places like that where you can pick the stuff up for next to nothing.
And you know what? The one thing again, especially when you're dealing with like, established families, right? They've got their couch from 15, 20 years ago. It doesn't look good anymore. And if you want your house to present well, a couple $100 for staging,
Mhm.
you get your ROI very quickly. And again, these are discussions that I'm sure as agents, you guys know, but you got to stress it. Don't let it get away because otherwise it's going to make you look bad. You're representing the client. It's going to make them look bad as well too. Right.
Yeah, that poofy Berber carpet couch is not in style anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Number 7, right? Number 7.
Number 7.
Remove Fido and what's the cat? What can I give?
Or Fifi.
Fifi. Remove Fido and Fifi from the house. Now, and what I mean is not to get rid of them. I mean, if you can temporarily have the pets relocated, especially during an open house, or when people are coming by to kind of check out the homes as well too. Remember, not all your buyers are going to be pet lovers, and some might be allergic. So it's best to create a pet-free environment, right? And to be honest, the smell of a kitty litter, no matter how great the litter box is and how wonderful you think it smells, it's because you've got nose blind. But the reality is it's still going to smell.
Yeah, and honestly, like as agents, like we need to exercise our expertise. There's a reason why, the public has ranked us up there next to car salespeople because we let this stuff slide, right? And then after they've done 16 price reductions and then the house finally sells, they're like, yeah, my agent didn't tell me anything. Like it was literally like we were just kind of figuring it out as we went along. And I think they probably could have been done a better job, but because we don't communicate well with our sellers and don't exercise those uncomfortable conversations, because progress happens in between where you exercise your ability as an agent and an expert and be that expert. Like you wouldn't go to an attorney and then say, hey, what are the greatest ingredients to put in a quiche, right? You wouldn't ask them that and then expect them to be like, well, actually, this is what you need to do. Because they'd be like, dude, that's not my area of expertise. I don't talk about food. I know the law, but I don't talk about food. You want them to say that because they're exercising their area of expertise. Just like we as real estate agents, we need to exercise our area of expertise when it comes to open houses.
Absolutely, man.
Yep.
Yep. Preach it.
All right. So number 5.
No, number 6. It's number 6.
Number 6.
Yeah, you jumped the gun, man.
Okay. Number 6. All right. So first of all, plan ahead. Okay. Because you can't be like, I think I'm going to do an open house this weekend on a Thursday and then have your open house on Saturday. Okay. Because part of what number 6 is promoting your open house. So some MLSs will syndicate your open houses to all the websites, but also use your own channels, your own social media, email campaigns to potential buyers that you have. Your MLS photos should reflect your ability to promote an open house, and doing the virtual tours, having a digital flyer, a QR code for people when they come to the open house, they can scan that QR code. but do the things that it takes to set yourself apart, not only from a marketing standpoint, but also getting the word out of an open house. Cause that's the thing. Like, you're not doing a good job of an open house when the only people that show up at the open house already have real estate agents,
Yeah.
because they're just like, your real estate agent is saying, hey, go check out this open house because I'm lazy and I don't want to like show you houses during the week. So there you go.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then along that line, number 5, create an informational packet, right? Um, again, these are like nice touches. Don't just show up for an open house and just say, open the door and put out your yard sign. I've been to open houses where the agent's like last minute, never given any thought, like you said, right? Plan ahead. And they just show up and open the house and just hang out there and be on their phone. So number 5 is really create an informational packet for your prospects walking through that door, highlighting, the key things about the property, floor plans, local, neighborhood amenities, any upgrades or renovations done to the place as well too. This will be their takeaway that summarizes everything, because I'm sure that they will have seen at least 4 or 5 homes that day. And boy, after a while, from a buyer's perspective, everything starts looking the same. So you have a sheet that pops and says, oh, here's the QR code for more information, like you're talking about, to kind of see the details of the home, the website as well too.
Yep.
So that's important.
Yep. And so number 3 is,
4.
or number 4,
Yes. Sorry, JP.
I can't do math.
Folks, you have to
All right.
forgive JP. His math is off.
All right. So kill them with kindness.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. So kill them with as much kindness as you can. Be approachable, be helpful. One technique that I have seen is, you'll see a lot of agents that are like, yeah, I have an agent, but even when you hear that, be like, well, is there anything I can get you? Can I show you some more listings that are similar in the area? Really
Love
exercise
it.
the ability to be helpful, because that might actually work in your favor. They might say, honestly, like, you are way 10 times more helpful than, so and so. I think I want to work with you instead, because you've been an amazing help. Because there's one of 2 reasons that they're there by themselves. They didn't want to bother their agent, which I don't know what kind of magic that they possess to get their clients to do all the research for, on the behalf of the agent, or they're just out there rogue, right?
Yep.
They're just like, yeah, or they're lying. Well, the third option is they're lying, right? So they're saying, yeah, I have an agent, because they're trying to avoid conversation. But then you've been so helpful that they're like, hey, here's 5 other properties in the area that are similar in case you're interested, you know, or hey, have a seat right here. Let's take a look to see what else is in the area. And they're just like, oh, my agent never took the time to do that. And so you've provided so much value to those buyers that's how you can take your open house abilities up to another notch.
Right. No, I mean, what you just said, like, I know it's simple about being kind and nice about that, but I've seen it actually happen where, I've been in an open house with my friend, and she got a client because she was just doing the open house. She was awesome. Like, she made friends basically, and and the buyers like loved talking to her. And at the end of the hour, it's like, you know what? We want to work with you instead. We came out here because our agent wasn't, and they start spelling their story. It's like, hey, our agent wasn't really helping us. That's why we're kind of looking around by ourselves. I'm so glad we met you, blah, blah, blah. And now it became their client. Right. So that's awesome. Thanks for sharing that. So number 3, highlight the unique features of the place. Emphasize the standout features, right? The spacious yard, the modern kitchen, energy efficient appliances as well too. Those are things that you want to make them feel like pop and grab your attention. Right. So that would be one.
Yep, absolutely. All right, number 2, provide refreshments. And the key with this is because if you're doing a lot of open houses, you can always reuse bottled water. You could use their coffee machine, bring your own coffee, but use their coffee machine, and, provide prepackaged snacks, because we all know with today's food that you buy at the store is good for like 5 years. So you could always just take the same stuff to the next open house and the next one and the next one. So you're not buying a bunch of stuff that's wasted, but yet it makes those clients feel welcome, you know.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I do to kind of help with this as well is I go and get as many signs as humanly possible and have directional signs going each and every direction from all over the entire neighborhood. And then one other tip with that as well is they used to call this 5x5s, which is you do 5 to the left, 5 houses to the right, and then 5 houses across the street from your open house.
Oh,
And,
interesting.
yeah, and then you just basically do the pick your neighbors call. Hey, it's JP Fluellen. Just want to let you guys know that we're having an open house this Saturday. This is like the day before.
Yeah.
And you say, hey, we're having an open house this Saturday. If you want to pick your neighbor, tell your friends, family, and relatives to come on over to the open house and check.
Love that. That's great. Yeah.
So, and then if you have like a flyer, and honestly, like, don't make it a super like ridiculous flyer. I wouldn't even put pictures on there. I wouldn't do any of that stuff. I would just be like, oh, big old fat open house, highlight a few features, stick that sucker in their hand, and then, and just have a black and white flyer. Because that's create curiosity, because this is one of the challenges right now with marketing is we give up too much of the thing,
Totally.
I mean, it's the worst part. It's kind of like your honeymoon, if she's already given up too much, then the honeymoon's kind of like, so just keep that in mind.
No, and I'm going to add on to it about the refreshments and stuff like that. Here's one practical tip as well too. I would say, you know what, there are scents that you should buy for an open house. Like the smell makes the house smell differently as well too. And it psychologically, actually, it helps prospects to kind of feel at home and feel more comfortable too. One of the best tips I've heard is like bake cookies. And, you get the, store-bought cookies, you put it on a sheet, you bake it, the smell of it, warm chocolate chip cookie coming out of the oven as part of the refreshments is not taking that much effort, but it looks and smells amazing and makes your house or your open house feel much more warm that way. So I've heard that I got that tip from one of my agent friends that I've worked with as well too.
Yeah, the new carpet smell Glade plugin works pretty well too. Even if there's not new carpet, you just plug it in and it smells like new carpet.
Yeah. So don't forget just the senses of the eyes, but the smell as well too, right? And then even music too. So number 1, and this is the most important one, I think, that most agents forget, the follow-up, right? We always talk about that. And
every time.
Yeah. And after the open house, reach out to all of them with a thank you message at the very least and ask for their feedback, right? It shows how professional you are, how diligent you are as an agent, and helps you build rapport. If anything, it is an opportunity to start a dialogue and build relationships in which you might be able to get a client out of it. Right?
100%. Well, I think that those are definitely some great tips. You should implement at least 11 of those, if not 12, and make sure that you're doing those each and every time. And I guess the biggest takeaway is, plan ahead. Like, don't just like decide like Saturday morning you're going to do an open house Saturday afternoon, because planning makes perfect.
Yeah.
And that's how you're going to have a very successful open house. And so we're going to wrap it up there. And if people want to get a hold of you, Keck, how can they get a hold of you to learn more about how to market open houses?
Awesome. I would love it if you guys reach out, and I welcome that. So if you want to book an appointment, check out my website, Fieldnotes.ai, and check that out. And you can kind of book some time, and I'll be happy to connect with you. Or if you want to reach me directly on the phone, it's 425-740-0260. How about you, JP?
All right. If you guys want to get a hold of me, just DM me on all the social platforms, or just look up JP Flu Ellen. It's like Ellen has the flu on all the Googles, the Google machines, the Instagrams, the Threads now is what they have. Their direct competitor with Twitter, because who tweets these days? I mean, let's be honest. So if you want to get a hold of me there, or you could just shoot me a text directly at 307-772-1184. Just text the word real. I'd love to have a conversation about how real can help you take your business to the next level. All right. And on that note, we'll just go ahead and catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Peace.